Welcome back. The Gaza Strip is a narrow stretch of desert in the Middle East that has become synonymous with confrontations between Israel and Palestine. Because of the ongoing conflicts and the blockade imposed by Israel, the Palestinians have had to get creative with the way that they live their lives. Here's one of their latest innovations: sand houses.
Home is springing up in northern Gaza, but these aren't ordinary dwellings. They're made of unconventional materials, an innovative way to overcome an Israeli-imposed restriction on traditional building materials.
Due to the lack of cement and construction materials like metal and rocks, which are not available in Gaza, we were searching for alternatives and something new. So we started to build houses using mud, and now we are building with sandbags.
They may be born out of necessity, but these homes have some benefits. They're set to stay cool in the summer and retain heat in the winter, a cost-effective and environmentally friendly form of housing. And they're much easier to erect than conventional concrete or brick homes.
We
fill the plastic bags with sand and mud, mixing both together. Then we press on the bags. Then another worker uses a cable to help pull both bags together. We don't use machines. Everything is done manually.
Israel imposed a blockade on Gaza after Hamas took control of the Strip in 2007. Then, in late 2008, Israel launched its war on Gaza, killing at least 1,300 Palestinians and destroying 5,000 houses. Deprived of basic building materials, Gazans have turned to the earth beneath their feet to rebuild their homes.
In tonight's Science, Technology and Health segment, we have another kind of innovation, but this one a little more on the futuristic side. The flying car is about to be approved, depending on the results of the crash tests.
Transition, popularly referred to as a flying car, but more appropriately termed a roadable aircraft, flew for the first time on March 5th at Plattsburgh International Airport in Plattsburgh, New York. It was piloted by Phil Matier, a retired U.S. Air Force colonel, who described the flight as remarkably unremarkable, which is actually among the more pleasant things a test pilot could have to say after a first flight. Observant pilots will likely note that the aircraft broke ground near the 5,000-foot marker on the runway and exhibited large control deflections in most images released by the company. They might also see the aerodynamic spades visible on the elevator to help lighten the controls. But as the first flight of a prototype aircraft and without further information from the company, these observations should not yet be used to draw conclusions about the aircraft's potential performance. For now, congratulations should be enough. The Transition's cabin is a unique space where flight displays and a steering wheel meet fold-away flight controls, and it's from there that the electrically folded wings are actuated and locked by patent-pending mechanisms. The Transition is powered by a 100-horsepower Rotax 912S that burns auto fuel and does double duty, and drives the front wheels to highway speeds when the vehicle is acting like a car, and pushes the aircraft to about 115 miles per hour over 450 miles in flight. All that's possible in part because of the Transition's carbon fiber frame that weighs under 890 pounds when empty and no more than 1,320 pounds when full of fuel and passengers. It's intended as a light sport aircraft, which means it will take less money to learn to fly a Transition than it would a traditional aircraft, but it will also come with some restrictions. Visit avweb.com, search for Terrafugia to read the latest details.
So if you're still reeling from that resounding and emphatic defeat that Argentina suffered at the hands of Germany, here's Jomo Williams to give us a look at the top World Cup Meggies.
Just when you thought it was safe to come out in your team jersey, just when you thought they were in the final for sure, just when you thought your heart could not be broken, Meggie! Yes, folks, the World Cup Meggies continue, and so we at We News take this opportunity to let the fanatics out there have it in your face. So, here are 3 more World Cup Meggies in order of devastation. Being the last African nation left in the competition, and after taking out the USA, I am sure the hopes and dreams of the entire African continent swung and rested squarely on the shoulders of the Black Stars of Ghana. They held Uruguay to a one-war draw until the end of play, but when the penalties were kicked and the smoke cleared, Maggie! Ghana had to walk home. Now, when this team made it into the quarterfinals, a lot of old supporters dusted off their jerseys and came running out of the woodwork, and a lot of new ones jumped on the bandwagon. They figured they could not lose, but they were so wrong. For when the German hammer fell, Argentina got Meggied right back onto the plane. And now, for the greatest Meggie for the whole World Cup, suffering a defeat by one goal to a team that should not have even made it this far, taking home the mega, ultra, Meggie! Team Brazil! No! What disappointments! Well, keep watching your team and keep your fingers crossed, because they just might be next. They even have an octopus in Germany who has been making correct predictions so far as to who will win what games. But guess what? He didn't predict Germany would win! Oh! This is Jomo Williams for We News.
Meanwhile, in tonight's obscure sport, walking on water. No wait, running on water? Have a look.
Tonight on Obscure Sports, we ask ourselves, what would Jesus do? Since the beginning of time, man has always looked for ways to make himself into more than he is, striving to attain the power of the gods, or at least to be in league with them. Well, it would seem that a group of guys from Portugal may have hit on the next big thing. It's called liquid mountaineering, and in this sport you attempt to follow in the footsteps of Jesus, quite literally, as he walked on water.
Yeah, liquid mountaineering is actually Oof's brainchild.
It's a new sport, it was not existing before.
You have to run very fast on the water.
I mean, obviously the first step was the most important one. When we discovered, oh my God, Jesus, we're going one step, we're going two steps, we're going three steps. We're discovering it as we go along.
It's not straight into the water, you know.
In a curve, in a slight curve.
And by that bend, you're actually not allowing yourself to sink into the water, and you want to keep that skimming sensation going as long as you can.
The video of the almost miraculous achievements being made by these Portuguese with regards to honing their skills and developing the sport hit YouTube and was an instant success. However, there have been claims made on alternate sites that there is actually a piece of board right under the surface of the water. Well, heavenly divide or hoax, we leave that up to you to decide. Whichever it is, I for one don't expect to see it at the Olympic Games anytime soon. This is Jomo Williams for Obscure Sports.
We're taking another quick break now. When we come back, the Cancer Society hosts a special presentation. Stay with us.